Hey guys, my name is Jennifer and I am Genevieve Designs. Today we are starting our 2024 Christmas album. And we are going to be using the Timeless Printable Scrapbook Album templates. This is the prep video for our new album series. And we're going to just start by, I'm going to tell you all the different things that I'm going to be using in my album. But I also want you to know that you can use whatever paper collection, whatever inks, whatever anything, whatever stamps, whatever anything that you happen to have that I'm using and you have something different, or you don't want to use that particular medium, you want to use this particular medium, it is okay. It is totally fine. You can achieve the same look and feel with stuff that you have, but I do want to share what I'm using because I get asked about it all the time. So it's just simpler to tell you guys and to make lists. So I have several lists. First list is there is going to be a collections list for my Etsy shop of what printable templates I'm going to be using, and that'll be in the description box, and it'll also be in the first pinned comment. So it's one click and it'll have everything that I'm using in the album in it, everything printable. And I add to it as we go. So if we add something later on down the road, I'll add to that list. So you can always just click that one link, and it's an affiliate link too, by the way, so it helps me get back some of the fees and things. But that one link, it doesn't cost you anything extra. That one link will get you all of the things that I'm using out of my shop. So there's that. And then the second list is first I list the products that I'm using as best I can down below in the description box and where I get them from. But then I also make an Amazon list. So I try to do that with every project because you can at least see what it is that I'm using. Even if you don't purchase through that, you can at least see what I'm using. So I did notice in one of my Amazon lists that, many actually, that they've started change, like if they don't have my printer is a perfect example. My printer is no longer available, but I can link it in the Amazon list for you and you can see it and it'll say currently unavailable. Well, that's what it used to say. Now it's like something similar or similar something. If you want to see the original, then you need to hit the view original on that particular listing in the list, if that makes sense. You'll know what I'm talking about if you go to Amazon, but I try to link all of the glues and the tapes and the watercolors and the inks and the whatever it is, the paper, all the things. I try to list that in that Amazon list. And then another thing that I do is I make a video playlist to follow along. So like this video playlist, it'll start with probably the introduction to the set of templates. And I don't know if I'm still doing that. I think I'm doing that. And then it will start with this video, right? So it'll be, you can skip the first video and then go to this video. This is the introduction to this album. So, oops, one of my leaves. And then it'll go in order from there, okay? So all of those things are linked. I'll have playlists up in the cards. And yeah, so about 4 months, July, this is November. So that was 4 months ago, I guess. I posted a video of a couple different options of paper collections. And I'll link that video up there if you want to check it out. But I had to do it in July because now it's like, and I know some of you are going to be really upset with me, but I'm telling you, I tried to give you guys as much advance notice as possible. And they're just coming out with paper collections so much earlier than they used to. And it's very frustrating, but we have to work with what we got. You know, we have to kind of roll with the punches. And if you can't get your hands on this paper collection, or you didn't buy it when I put the video out in July, it's totally fine. Use whatever you have. I'm sure you can find something similar. If you totally love this paper collection, I'm sure you can find something similar. I'm only using a couple things from this collection So I'm sure you can find something, but I will do my best to link everything down below. Okay, so let me start with showing you what set of templates we're going to be using. Now, it's you can use whichever one you want, but I chose to use the polka dot set of templates. So this is actually the matte for the cover, but the vintage polka dot is what I chose to use for this album, and you'll see why in just a second. And all of the timeless sets of templates come with a bonus of the vintage script. So these both work perfectly with the album that we are currently, or that we're getting ready to start. So these two are going to be in that special Etsy list. Okay, so it'll be the first thing you see. We are also going to be using things like photo mats. The Photo Mats Essentials. I have not picked a shades of color, which is a printable background color, like an overall color. None of them match perfectly, so I have not chose one, and I don't think we're going to be using a shades of color in this particular album that I'm making. So let's see. So that's all I have really for the printables, is the set of templates, the timeless printable scrapbook album templates in the vintage polka dot, and the Photo Mats Essentials, both 1 and 2. I'll probably use the journal spots 1 and 2 as well. Those are kind of just like staples now. So those will all be in the Etsy listing, and I'm going to set this aside. And now I'm going to show you the paper collection I chose. And it is this one. This is the 25 in Peppermint paper collection done by Frank Garcia. So he has a very similar style that all of his Christmas collections have. They're very vintage. They're very like pink, green. This has got reds. It's really, I don't know how to explain it, but if you've had one of his paper collections before, you know what I'm talking about. You can use any paper collection that you can find that that he's created for Christmas, and it'll probably work in this exact same scenario. So this is the paper collection I'm going to be using, and I'm only using one set, so one pad. I've already taken it out of the plastic. So this is 16 sheets. There's 8 double-sided designs, and there's 2 of each, and that's why I'm only going to use one, because I like to have 2 of each design. So this is the paper collection, and I'll just flip through it really quick so you can see. There's a few things I don't like about it. I'm not a big fan of this color, this pattern back here, but we can work with it. And then, because you can see it on, well, it's not as peachy looking on the backgrounds as it is here. I don't know why it looks so peachy here. But anyway, so it's got one of the same peachy things on the back, but that's okay. We might use it, we might not. You never know, but it's not my favorite design. I just love these candy canes and the vintage Santa. And then there's trees and snowmen. And I love this back polka dot. There's gingerbread and little coffee cups. It looks like it's got little candy cane swirlies in it. Then there's cut apart pages. So these are all different sizes, so that's fun. And it's nice too, because you can have like little titles on pages and things. So the cut aparts have a background on them, and this is probably my favorite background on there. Whoops, what's that? That's a piece of tape. And then these are 3x4 cut aparts, journaling cards, and they also have a background on them that's really nice. And then here is another cut aparts. So what are these? 2x2? What are these? Let me measure. These are approximately, well, if you just go on the image, it's 2 1/4 by 2 1/4. So these are fun, but these are like counting down, like advent calendar, and the gold foiling. Isn't that beautiful? Stunning. So I love it. And if you didn't want to use the squares, you could get a hole punch and just use the circles. That could be fun too, or both. And then they've got a nice polka dot on the back. So, all right, so this is, again, our prep video. So I'm going to take all of these pages, minus the title sheet. I'm going to take them and I'm going to put them in one of these sleeves. I have these in the Amazon. And then I'm going to take this sheet here, the title sheet, and I'm going to staple it. That worked out really well last time. I'm going to staple it on here so that it doesn't move and doesn't get caught with all the other things. And that way I can show you in the videos which paper collection we're using, just in case. So then I'm going to put this aside. Next thing is the 2 pieces of ephemera. There is 64 pieces and 62 pieces. There's 2 of each in these packages, and we're going to be making the largest size album in the Timeless, so we're probably going to have a lot of like pages that we need to embellish that are just like the polka dot or the vintage script. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take these out and I'm going to sort them just like I always do into different trays. So I'm going to grab at least 3 trays, I would imagine, at least. Maybe 4. Okay, so these are the crafty trays that's made using my Crafty Companion. If you don't know what that is, I will link that playlist up here. It's one of the most amazing things ever. So I'm going to sort these out from like titles and things like that, words and whatever. So I'm just going to go through and look because I haven't opened these yet. I don't know what all we got here. Holy cow, there is a lot. Okay, so one thing I noticed that if you could only get one of these, that's okay, because it's a lot of the same imagery, sort of, just in different sizes. Just like this one set had this little girl, right, and then or no, let's do it like this. One set had these Santas, right, and one set had these, I think. Like one set had these little girls and then one set had these little girls. So I don't know, it's just, I think that you'd be good even if you could just find one. I think you're going to be okay because there is a lot here and there's 2 of everything. So I'm going to try really hard to just use one of each as we go. But I know for sure that I'm going to put the people and the animals in one tray. I don't typically use people like these little girls and stuff. I may. I always say I don't typically. I'll probably use the Santa because, you know, we're making a Christmas album. And then I'm going to put the animals in here as well. It's a gingerbread. They're really not animals, are they? And this is people. It's kind of a cabinet card we could switch up, and these are people. And okay, that's good, I think. And then in another one we can put these types of things and all the words and things. which there is a lot to choose from. A lot. I might have to go through and take one of each out. Good Lord, that's a lot. Okay. Then let's look at another tray. Put the trees and the flowers and the greeneries and that kind of thing, the bells in here. And the candy canes. Let's see. I was going to save a tray for the flowers, so I'll just put, I'll put these in with the people and the snowmen. How about that? Right? They're so cute. And then I'll put the rest of the stuff in here. It's gingerbread. They're people. And the snowman, they're people, right? Okay. So I'm going to stick these trays back into my crafty companion. The crafty trays. So in my crafty companion, I've got 1, 2, 3, I got 5 trays. I already used the 3 skinny ones. Now I have 2 of the thicker ones left. And I usually use one of these for leftover scraps that I cut off, or pieces of the paper collection that are small that I cut off, so I know exactly where those are. And then for this one, I'm going to use the flowers. Now I've only got 2 things here, and first thing I want to say is these do not match this paper collection, this green. I'm gonna try to figure out a way to make them match, but they don't match. So I just got 2 flowers here. This is 673628, and this one is 673635. So these big ones here will probably be on the cover. And they're glittery. And then these little ones we could sprinkle throughout if we want to, if we can figure out how to get those green ones to look like they belong to this paper collection. Because in my opinion, they do not. But I don't know whose choice that was. And I can't say, but it's okay. We'll see if we can't make it work. Okay, so I'm going to put this aside. So those are that's all we're going to be using from the paper collection. 1 paper pad, 2 flowers, 2 ephemeras, and that's it. There's other stuff that's part of this paper collection that I actually bought and I showed you in that video, but I'm not going to be using, like chipboard stickers and puffy stickers and a little tag booklet. I'm not going to be using any of those, but if you found them, you can totally incorporate them with your album. The ink that I'm using, I'm going to be using ground espresso distress oxide. That's the ink that I'm going to use that goes with this paper collection the best, in my opinion. And I'm going to be using 2 other inks, but I think I'm going to show them to you, but we're not going to be, I have some things that I need to do with you guys on video, and I'm waiting on something to come in, a couple things to come in. So I tell you what I'll do. Okay, let's talk about album covers. Okay. I've already got an album cover made. This is the largest in the Timeless, so there's going to be 4 layers. I am recycling one of the covers that I used from one of my prototypes. So I had done a set of prototypes where everything was magnetized so that I could swap things out so I could make all 4 of them faster. So I just ripped off, I don't know if you can see, you might not be able to. I just ripped off the stuff that I had glued down. I wish I would have just used a tape runner or something, but I didn't. I used glue. I ripped them off, and let's see. This didn't have anything on it, but there was something here and here, here and here, and you can kind of tell. I ripped it off, and I even sanded it a little bit so it wouldn't be so rough looking. But the reason that this doesn't matter is because we are going to do something special with this cover. So your homework is to make yourself a cover using page 1 and using the spine piece for 4 pages, which is right here on page 2. And it doesn't have to be pretty, but make it the way you make your covers to reinforce your spines and everything. I will link a video up here on how to make covers. Just make sure you use the right size. It doesn't matter what paper you use on the outside. Well, I guess it does, but you can just make, you don't even have to put paper on the outside. You can just make the 3 pieces. You can combine them with your tie-back, your fabric, your whatever it is that you want to use, and you can leave it at that. You can just leave it raw, because we're gonna, the next video I'm gonna show you, we're gonna do something we haven't done in a really long time, and I think it'll be really fun. So that's homework. And the other homework I want you to do is I want you to find some stamps that are Christmassy, sort of. Like this one here. This one is a really old one, faded text background. Doesn't have a year on it, but I'm 100% stampabilities. I'm 100% 2009. 100% sure that this is something I got at Hobby Lobby, and I think it's still available, and I will try to find it and link it separately, because I found these that I bought at Hobby Lobby as well. So I'll link these as well. These are my favorite number stamps. I love those so much. But anyway, so I wanted a script stamp, and this is for something we're going to be doing in the next couple videos. And then I found this stamp. This is it says Silver Bells, and it's made by Kaiser Craft, and it's pretty old. I don't know how old. I don't use stamps that often, so I could have bought this 10, 15 years ago. I don't know. But anyway, I wanted these little snowflakes, so I have them mounted onto a block, and we're going to be using these little snowflakes for things. Any snowflake will do. Just make sure they're smaller. I think that's going to be important. So find yourself some Christmas stamps, whatever it is that you can find. These just happen to be what I have. I will have most things linked in the Amazon list, because I want you to be able to get it if you want it. For example, I'm going to be using ink, Distress Ink Rustic Wilderness. I'm going to be using this. I'm going to be using some watercolor, but I don't want to show you all that because I don't want you to go buy it, just in case you don't want to do the things that I'm doing. So I'm going to hold off on that, and that'll be in the next coming. It's kind of a messy thing. It'll be in the next couple videos, but you can check out the Amazon list if you want to see what I'm talking about. We're going to be using hole reinforcements. We're going to be using wax seals. Ooh, I did pull out some bells. I kind of want to, I wonder what size these are. These are 6mm. These are little tiny little jingle bells. I pulled these out. I think these will be fun. What else did I get? I've got some pink and white baker's twine. I'm going to use one of these 3. This is, I was going to say flossing. This is not flossing. This is embroidery floss. And it's just a really gold shiny color. Does it have a number? E3821. Or this is gold baker's twine. So if you have this, this is fine too. I just happened to see this and I was like, oh, that might work. And then I also have this, which is white and gold, but you can't hardly see the gold. I mean, you can a little. So one of these three, whatever you happen to have, one of these three will be great, because there's gold foiling in the paper collection. So I feel like we're going to be needing that. But I'm going to use the pink and white baker's twine. I'm going to be using washi paper. We're going to be using some of that. We're probably going to use some vellum. So I'll have both of these linked as well. We've used those in the past couple projects, so you might already have them. I think that might be all I can show you right now. I'll show you the other things in the next couple videos. I feel like I'm forgetting to tell you guys something. I don't know what it is. Oh, we're probably going to be using my stamp set. So it is available at the time of this filming, so I will have it linked down below. So if you want to grab this, it's called Picture Perfect. It's a stamp set that I made with May. May made it, and I've got it linked down below. Yeah, I think we're just going to stop there. Because, you know, there's normal stuff like your scissors and all of that. All of that will be, I'll have it listed in my Amazon, so you can check that out. But I'm super excited to get started on this album. I did some shopping in my storage, my PSS room, my packing, shipping, and storage. I don't pack and ship anymore, but I got some inspiration from there, and I got some I just shopped my supplies a little bit. So yeah, so I'm pretty excited. I'm excited, and I have made a Christmas album for the past 8 years in a row, maybe 9, it depends on the date, and I love it. As a matter of fact, today, the day I'm filming this, is actually I've released a video talking about inspiration. And I'll link that video up here if you want to check it out, just in case you missed it. So, all right, you guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I will see you guys in the next one. Bye.